Happy Tuesday, everyone. I am gonna find us on Facebook and share to the group. I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to get logged in. Give myself a second to get logged in. I left my coffee all the way over there. I'm gonna get up and get it. So it's Thanksgiving week. Lots to be thankful for. Thankful, got my thankful shirt on. Thankful for coffee and from my friend who bought me a cup from Indiana. I've been collecting these. I have them from, let's see, South Carolina, Vermont. I have all the New England states because I live in New England and they're easy to get. But I have one from Phuket, Thailand because I was there with Stampin' Up! One time. I broke a nail just before I got on, so I said, well, it's better than making everybody wait. Crazy girl, huh? All right, let's see. I want to make sure that I have no sound and that I can see your comments once I flip the camera. So how's everybody's week going? Are you all prepared for Thanksgiving? I sure am not. Let's see, share to a group. I am prepared for tomorrow night, which is our Thanksgiving stamping session. We're gonna do all about embossing, and it's a free event. Anybody can come, and if you're gonna be busy preparing the turkey, you don't have to come. You can watch it anytime. Hey, Debbie. Oh, Southwest Michigan. Is it cold there yet? Hi, Myrtle. Oh, I'm so happy. Yay. Hi, Sandy. Good to see you. Okay. Well, I'm very thankful that you're all here. And Thanksgiving is one of those times, you know, especially now. This is kind of a crazy world. So some people are still being real careful and they're not going to be spending the holiday with their family. And then others are preparing to gather with smaller groups than normal. And so I wanted to make sure that Thanksgiving week that I still had time with you to just celebrate you, because, you know, this crazy pandemic thing meant that I'm online more often, and I'm sure you guys are too. And that's just where we spend our time. Absolutely cold, but the sun is shining. You know, we're the same here. It's chilly, but I had the screen door open all day and I was typing up directions, and the sun coming through the window just made me happy. So, well, anyway, we got a lot going on. Eden's Garden is special in November, and this stamp set and bundle is available in the new January through June catalog. It's a preview. It has a designer series paper that goes with it. It's got some really pretty cotton paper, which is, oh, I grabbed it and then I left it over there. Hang on. It's almost, and this one's been kind of kicking around outside the package for 2 weeks, so it doesn't look that great right here, but it's almost so thin, it would be perfect to put in a small gift bag, like a tissue paper, and, you know, but it's very, very thin and very fun to work with. And a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to show you a project, and I couldn't find it. So my room is all clean now, and I have my stuff back in order, and I thought I'd show you that project. Speaking of not being able to find anything, I fell in love with this punch over the last week. I had an event for leaders on my team, and we made a whole bunch of gift card holders. And we used this punch with the shimmery in color paper in the dark green, in that evening evergreen. And I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I was looking for the stamp set that went with it, and I was so mad because I went into my holiday collection stamps and went all through it and couldn't find the evening Evergreen Elegance stamp set. Well, I just felt like such a big goofball because this is in the main catalog. It's not in the holiday catalog. So it was exactly where it belongs, just not where I was looking. I was looking in the wrong place. So we're all back on track. So I want to actually break this bad boy out of the box because it has not gotten any love this year, and I have been having dreams about it because we have this embossing workshop coming up. And did you know that you can actually layer your heat embossing and that it doesn't interfere with the layer underneath? So I thought that on the fly, that's what we would do today. I'll show you a little bit of Eden's Garden, and we'll move on, and we'll do the double heat and embossing. And if we have time, I'll play with that punch and the sparkle paper because, oh my gosh. Actually, I can show you the gift card holder that we made. So, all right, I'm going to flip the camera. Be right back. Hi, Paula. Good to see you. All right, here we go. Quick and painless, in theory. Whoops, it's still shaking. Still shaking a second, but I'm gonna move the table. Hopefully not too far. Ta-da! Okay, we're all in place now. So the first thing I wanted to show you was the Eden's Garden, and I did have the stamp set. Now I buried it on my table over here. And it has a lot of really cool sentiments, sending hugs. I've been saying that to everybody lately. I pre-cut this one for my stamp club last month. Hey, Becky. And it has some of that cotton paper in there already cut. And you see how it behaves kind of like tissue paper? What I'm going to tell you is I didn't put the adhesive on that layer. I actually put it on the cardstock and then stuck it to the cardstock. So that's what I'm just going to do to start. And this was edge to edge, if I remember correctly. It was like a whole month ago, and then I finally found the packets. But it's so pretty. I did this with my club. All the Eden's Garden stuff is just stunning. So that's the cotton paper, and it goes on kind of like working with tissue paper. So that's why I wanted to treat it with kit gloves and put the adhesive on the layer down underneath. Okay, so here's a circle I cut with the circles framelits, and I'm sorry that it's on back order right now. But I think it's not orderable actually, and that's been gonna happen a little bit more often. But we'll just have to watch for it when it comes back in. It doesn't look like my stamp is inking that well, does it? But I bet you it's just because it's one of those fancy distinctive stamps. So it doesn't always look, oh yeah, see? So these are purposely, and I love it when my ink pad isn't over inked when it comes to a distinctive stamp, because you get the dark and the light, and it's such a beautiful shade, don't you think? Where's my card base? There it is. Ta-da. All right. So I'm going to start to set this up. We can put this here. And I had so I used the Pick-a-Banner's punch for this white layer, and you can make a banner any size you want. Either cut your paper to 1 inch, or cut it to 3/4 of an inch, or cut it to 1/2 inch, and it will automatically, you just put it in a punch, and it's a really easy punch to use. Isn't this pretty? Oh, kills me. I forget if I did, I want to just see real quick. So I'm trying to remember, I think I went that way. So I'm going to put, and of course I was going to stick this down this side up, but when you die cut with dies, there's definitely a front and back, and I was going to stick the back side up, but that's okay. Sometimes the back side is the better side. That's what I'll go with. Too funny. I'm going to put that across the middle. And again, it was just a 1 inch strip that I punched on both sides. So easy to put together. And the stamp set makes it so easy. So I have a stamp on the block here. Hi, Carol. Hi, Anna. Oh, it's so good to see everybody. I really look forward to this live time with you guys, not necessarily because I'm live. I like it better than a pre-recorded video because I get to chat with you. That's one of the reasons I love doing the online workshop, because I can show you techniques and do a full class for you, and you can ask questions live as opposed to getting pre-recorded content. Whereas if you had a question, you might be less apt to email me. I thought I put scissors in my little package here. I'll be right back. Oh no, I did. Look, it's underneath all my paintbrushes. You can tell I was heat embossing this week. Paintbrushes in my container was very important. I'm just going to clean up the edge of that ribbon. And a lot of times when you take a class from me, most times, unless you're tying it around and making a bow, I'll make your bows for you as part of any kit that you order. So I have that for after. And I did get rid of the little white paper because I'm going to stamp a sentiment on this guy. This is the same punch we were talking about. I started with a 3-inch piece, and it's cut to 3/4 of an inch, and it was so easy because there's guides on it. I just want to make sure it's straight on my block, because that will drive me batty if it's not. It's not, look. So Stampin' Up! Has a line across the block. It's a very soft thing to hold on to. It's nice on your hands. But I like to line it up with that line that's on the bottom so that I know that my stamps are straight. You can put the stickers on the back of your stamps, but mine always come out crooked anyway, so I pay attention to the block and know that now if I line my block up with my paper, I should be good to go. And of course, I really he-man that, so hopefully I don't stamp too hard, because it's a nice delicate stamp. My heart is tied to yours. Tug if you need anything. I'm going to let that dry for a second, because I am going to run my fingers over it. Okay, so I'm going to take this and make a mountain just with my fingers. Nothing, no fancy equipment required. And then once I have my mountain, I need to make my mohills. So I'm going back the other way. And that's how I make like a banner looking element. And then I'll bring my card front back in. Isn't this pretty? Ugh. It was my favorite project from Club this month. I don't know, I'm not usually a green person, but these colors are just stunning. Now, even if you stamp your sentiment crooked, I always just put it on my card straight, so it looks like it was supposed to be like that. And then I think we should put a dimensional on the back of that. This came out of the Give It a Whirl dies. There's 3 size hearts. This one is the middle one. There's, oh no, this one's the big one. There's a smaller one. There's 2 smaller ones. And before I do that, I'm hearing Debbie Pranty in my head. I almost forgot the most important part. Wink to Selene. Debbie used to say that was, it wasn't a me project unless we wink it, so. And I am just painting over the images that are there. I could squeeze it and flick some on here, but it just brings it to life. It makes it almost holiday, but it's not. This is great, and this is in the spring catalog. So it's available to you to order this month, even though it's early, but that's one of the sweets that's in the new book. And did I put it on crooked? A little bit. Hang on. Well, that's the beauty of liquid glue. I can move it around, and I do love that heart. So cute. And I need to trim the ribbon again. It looks like there's a little bit of fuzz like coming in, and that drives me crazy. So there we go. Nothing like a fresh haircut. Okay, so that is the preview of the Eden's Garden bundle. It is available for purchase early. There's a designer series paper. There's this cotton paper that I showed. And like I said, it's awesome. I've already used it as tissue paper in packaging that's gone out from my house. And I just love the colors. It's so soft and pretty. All right. So moving right along, I did cut up some paper before I went live, but I have not dug into the stamp set before. And part of it was I misplaced it. I thought it was a holiday stamp, and it went back where it goes, which was in the annual catalog stamp section. So I am starting with fresh, clean red rubber. And by the way, if you're wondering, red rubber is my absolute favorite. And I'm so bummed that I misplaced this, because it was I legit ordered another bundle, and it's coming hopefully someday, because right now the pick times are like 5 to 7 days. But I ordered another bundle to come to the house, and what do you know, then I found my stamp set. That's how it always goes when you misplace something, though. All right, so I have this guy, and I have a taller version. I need a bigger stamp. I could go this way, but I'm just gonna get a different block. I love on the fly with you guys. I should get a couple of those, huh? First of all, the font in this Merry Christmas is already making me happy just looking at the back. So let's jump in. So have you guys ever layered your heat embossing? Has anybody ever done that? I found it quite by accident one time. And, you know, this week, all about embossing, I thought that it would be a very interesting technique to show. Now, I don't know how this is going to pair up yet, because I have no plan, you know, on the fly. But I did cut up some paper, because I saw the Casing Tuesday sketch, which I'm a part of the design team, and I didn't get there yet. So I cut a piece of paper for a focal point. I'm thinking maybe we need 2 of these trees to make it big enough to kind of create a scene. But let's play. So I'm going to start with Versamark. And instead of making my trees green, I think I'm going to make them white. So here is my white embossing powder. I have all the embossing powders that Stampin' Up! Makes on the table. These are the, this is the metallics collection. So there's a gold, a silver, and a bronze. And then I have the black, the white, and the clear. Now, you can actually emboss in any color that Stampin' Up! Has if you have a classic ink pad, the regular color ink pads, and you use clear with Versamark. And we're going to go over all of that tomorrow night at the online workshop. But for right now, I thought that we would just start with a little scene. So I'm going to come in. I don't know why this seems dry to me. I'm going to go get some re-inker, and I'm going to make sure I have some copy paper, because that's what you use to catch all the leftover stuff. Sheesh. I'm just gonna grab a different Versamark pad, because it's not, it looks kind of dry. And you know, that happens sometimes. It's with the change in the weather, it is very dry in the studio. So although I used this a couple weeks ago when I designed the projects for tomorrow night, the pad seems a little bit dry. So I have a brand new one here. Nothing like fresh Versamark. So we're gonna start with the tall one. Then I'm gonna put it off to the side. I know nothing too exciting yet, right? And then I'm gonna use this little chubby one. So cute. And then I'm gonna fill in, hopefully it's got enough juice on it. Doesn't look very juicy. If not, we can always go again, but I'm gonna just start with like a trio of trees. and I want to make these trees white. Are there trees in real life that can you put clean Versamark with our well, what I do is I do it backwards. So that's a good question, Paula. We're going to do that tomorrow night, and I'm going to show it live. So that's part of the online workshop tomorrow night. But yeah, I ink up with Versamark first, and then I go right into the ink pad. Good question. All right, so while this is all over my table, I'm gonna pick this up and make sure that I have another piece of paper underneath it. Easier said than done. And then just funnel it back into the jar so I don't make a mess. I gave it a shake over the trash barrel. And I'll put the cover on. And I would say when you're embossing, it's really good to know not to sneeze while you have your powder out. Just saying. All right, so I got my heat gun and we're ready to roll. So Stampin' Up! It has a heat tool, and the heat tool, it used to be a black heat tool, and our heat tool has 3 settings, and you can barely see it because mine's so used, but 0, 1, and 2. 2 is for melting the powder that I just put on my cardstock, right? So that's this one. And then 1 is just for heat setting ink. So we definitely want to turn it up to 2, and we want to give it a second to heat up. And then I want to keep my fingers out of the way. But before I even do that, I'm noticing on my project, there's a couple of little dots of embossing powder that don't belong. So before I heat it up, I'm gonna brush anything away that doesn't belong, because once I heat it up, it'll be there for good. Did you know Stampin' Up! Used to make embossing brushes or paint brushes? Check it out. I got the Stampin' Up! One. I feel so official. But, oh look, and it looks like there was a hair or something there. I'm just gonna get rid of that. So like I can adjust and fix my image before I start to heat. So now, hey Sharon, I hope your surgery went well. My good friend Sharon Verity, she a team member, a leader on my team, and she had carpal tunnel surgery this week. Ugh, I've been praying for you, girlfriend. So now it's getting warm, so I'm gonna start to point it at my cardstock. And here's the deal, you gotta get your fingers out of the way. So it's like magic. Ready? It changes color as you heat it up, and that's how you know when it's cooked. See the parts that aren't cooked? You can really see the difference. So I'm gonna do half my paper, and then I'm gonna change, so I'm pointing the heat gun away from my hand. What a brilliant idea. At this point, if I wanted to, when I'm all heat set, oh my gosh, the trees look all like glistening, like they're in the middle of the woods at night. Ooh, I love that. But at this point, if I wanted to, I could take my blends to it. And, great name. I don't know what that means. You'll have to type that out for me, Sharon. That's so funny. So I got glistening trees, but I could go over it with a blend and make it green. Like I could use the sage color and make them green, but I'm really digging the white. So what I want to do next is I want to show you that the whole reason that I started this one was because I wanted to show you how to do the Merry Christmas on top. And I was praying, that I cut the paper wide enough, and I did. Look at this. So while I get this going, I want you guys to decide whether you would like, we don't have anything that's copper that matches right now, so why don't I say, we'll break it down and we'll say silver or gold. So you tell me if you would like a silver Merry Christmas or a gold Merry Christmas. And I'm gonna go back to the stamp set while you guys fight about that. I have somebody pinging me while I'm live, so sorry if it's... Okay, so silver, gold, silver, gold. Oh, isn't that the way? Silver and gold. I'll be like, what's that guy? His name is, was it Burl Ives? Who sang the silver and gold song? I don't have another A block on that table, so I'll just use a B for that big one. Ta-da! I'll give you guys a couple more seconds to weigh in to see if we have any tiebreakers. Otherwise, I'll have to decide. It is Burl Ives. I was right. Whoop, whoop. I remembered something. I feel accomplished. Okay, I have gold, silver, gold, silver, gold, silver, gold, gold, silver. Gold won by 1 vote. You guys are awesome. All right, so here's my Merry Christmas. That's so funny. And I'm going to go straight across the already embossed. All I can think of is already been chewed like bubble gum. And then bring in my my paper for the catch, and then we'll put the gold right on top. So you can do this with anything that you can set your imagination to, you know. And like I said, tomorrow night we're gonna do it in a different color. So we'll emboss in the Misty Moonlight tomorrow. Okay, so there's the gold. I'm gonna set this aside and take my life into my own hands and not funnel it this time. Ta-da for my next trick. Okay, here we go. Up. And I want to get rid of that guy first. Letting it heat up, it's fine. There's some little flecks right there. Okay, ready? Now, it didn't pop as much as I remember that it did before. It might be that tree in the middle could have been a little bit more white. But you see where that's going. I want to do it again just to see if we can, well, we could do that, or we can keep layering. So I have this star here, and we can put one there, and we can put one there. And then I've got the little guy over here for the little tree, so let's do that next. We get stars. Oh my gosh, I can't even stand it. All right, so let's bring it in. Bringing it in for the real thing. So a little bit more powder and the flick. All right, this time I'm gonna funnel because I'm getting nervous that I'm gonna make a mess. You see it happening, don't you? I am good at making a mess. We all need skills, right? I should put that on my resume. Hey, you know, back in the day, we used to put on our resumes that able to multitask. I just want you to know, I'm not. I do much better when I figure out one thing at a time. Not meant to multitask. All right, here we go. Oh, that's a solid star. And then this one had a little more detail. Oh my God. So cute. I think I need some designer paper to go behind it. Maybe a piece of white. And I did, let me see. Ta-da. I think I have a piece already cut. Nope, that's too big. Booyah. And I'm gonna get the butter box. So if you don't know what I mean by the butter box, it is my box of embellishments, and I recently reorganized it because it was getting out of control in there. But this is basically where I have all of my open embellishments, and I decided to go in and group them by type. So I'm thinking either red rhinestones, or we could do the holiday rhinestones. You guys vote. I'll go get the designer paper. Holiday rhinestones or red rhinestones. I'm thinking red, but you guys vote it out. I'll do whatever you tell me. Designer paper. At the very beginning of the holiday book, I decided to do a class with this. Oh, everybody, let's see. Holiday, red. I think holiday wins, but I'll come out. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's my butter box. And now and the only reason it's a butter box is because it says butter on it. I got it at like the Paula Deen store. Oh, it's butter at the top. So it says butter, and that's why it's the butter box. But yeah, I think I agree with you guys. The holiday ones actually even go, oh look, now you're saying red. But the holiday actually even go with the designer paper. This cherry cobbler is poking me with this designer paper here. I think I even want to use that pattern because the sketch was 3 strips. I think I printed a copy of it. I did. So, here's the sketch that I looked at before I went live, knowing that I needed something that was kind of that big. So I know this is 4 7/8, but I went 4.5 by 3 1/4, and they did 4 7/8 by 3 1/8. But we'll just say that doesn't include the white yet, because the white really made it pop. Although maybe we should just put it on a white card base because it's that gorgeous, like on white. But do you see it coming together? So I have 3 3/4 by 1. I think I might go 4 by 1 just to make sure that I have enough. And my little trimmer. I'm losing everything that was under a packet thing. My table was so clean when I started. Go figure. So let's go 4 by 1. And we'll need 3 of them, right? So we'll go backwards. We'll go 3, 2, 1, like the countdown. Does anybody cut their paper that way? I do that a lot when I'm cutting multiples. So I'll cut, like if I need to cut a 3 by 4, I'll cut it 8 and then at 4. And then I'll go back and that moved on me. All thumbs. And then I'll go back and cut like at 9, 6, and 3. Because I tend to go backwards sometimes. All right. So, let's see. Should that be like, oh yeah. It should definitely be 4. Do you think that we should use the punch to make the V's like we do, or should we leave them straight like that? Let me know. If you want the punched, I'll go get the punch, but I don't know. I think it might be good the way it is. I'm gonna grab a little bit more cardstock and make a base. You tell me, are we gonna use the punch to make the V's like we did in the first card, or are we gonna leave it just like the sketch? And while you guys do that, I'm gonna cut my card base. Did you know that the Stampin' Up! Paper cutter gives us a cheat line right here, and that this is the 5.5 mark all the way up? So if you don't have the measurement, you don't need it, because you can eyeball it where it sits. Leave it straight. Okay. I got you. I heard you. All right, and then 4 1/4, we'll cut our card base, scoring at 4 1/4. Okay. So let's stick it all together. This is so cool. You know I misplaced the glue. It is what it is. Progress is sometimes messy. So this piece is measuring 4 3/4 by 3 1/2, in case you're wondering. And these are 4 by 1 inch strips. So if you're recreating this sketch, I'm gonna stick this one in the middle first. Well, maybe I'll do the top and bottom and then try and find the middle of the two. That might be easier. I just want to make sure that my OCD brain is happy when I finish. So I'm about that distance from that side, so I'll do the same thing from this side. Because it's an optical illusion and I'm going to try and meet in the middle, but it still doesn't look right to me. But it's okay. It's a card, right? Okay, so I got this. And if you're ever doing something to paper, like either with water or with heat and it warps, you can do the same thing to the other side. So you can heat the back and it will warp the paper back, but I'm gonna force it into submission with this super sticky glue. Seal Plus is super sticky, and you may notice that I don't have any trouble with it, and that's because even on the dismount, I keep it upright. Like, I don't try and hold it like this at my paper. I try to hold it like this, and I find it makes such a difference. And as long as I don't push too hard. If I push too hard, all bets are off. Oh, it's really sizing up to be pretty, huh? Thank you for being here. This is great. Oh, and look, these match perfect. You guys that called it, my goodness. So I peeled these off the transfer sheet but seeing them back to back like that is kind of making my eyeballs crazy. So I just peeled them apart so I could see what I was doing. So how about if we add a few bling bling? Oh my goodness. Cherry cobbler. And then maybe some of the green. I think I need a little bit of... So this week, I'll tell you, my Take Your Pick, I use it so often, it's really starting to get beat up. And I could have ordered just a refill for it for $3.50, but I splurged and got myself a new one for $10. So I still have to open it, but it's here. I don't know, sometimes like something about having something fresh and shiny. It wasn't that much more. Oh, what do you guys think? You like it? Oh my gosh, makes me so happy. It's hard to stop with the bling though. I could go all day. And I guess I don't want an even number, right? We got 3 and 3, which is 6, so we could go this way. Oh, you know what we could do? We could put rhinestones in the middle of the stars. I have issues. I like bling way too much. Bling bling. All right, I'll stop. I love them though. Oh my gosh, they make me so happy. I hope that you really liked seeing how you can heat emboss over another heat emboss. Now, you can see the white didn't take as much, and the HR is still there, but it doesn't pop as much as the Mary. So when you're considering how you're going to layer your images, it might be advantageous to use something that's as solid as possible when you're doing the bottom layer. But super cool. And then we also did the Eden's Garden sample, which is over here. My heart is tied to yours. And tomorrow night, we're going to do more heat embossing. I'll show you the projects. This one is with Misty Moonlight. And then I did this one in 2 different colors. I did this one in white, and then I did it in silver. But I changed to white for the directions because if people were purchasing everything to make the cards as is, but the silver is pretty. It just doesn't pop as much. So super pretty, super fun to work with, and embossing is magical. So I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow night. And if you need anything or if you have questions about today's live, please feel free to just message me. And I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving. Even if you can't log on tomorrow night, you might be busy with family. Oh, I promised I'd show you the projects we made. Well, I'll show you this one anyway. This was with that punch that came from the bundle. And all I did was I cut 2 strips of cardstock. One was straight cardstock in this color, the Evergreen, and then one was with the shimmery, and I punched 2 strips with this punch. And I don't know if you know how these work, but you start where the line is. So you put your paper in here, and then you just slide across, and you can make it as long as you want. So if you're a scrapbooker and you like to put it on a border, you can make but I ripped them apart and made trees, and this was a favorite for my silver reception this week for my leaders on my team. So, but just another sample with that bundle. All right, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm so grateful for you. I have a lot to be grateful for. So many blessings. Love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow night.